Good morning, everybody. It's another beautiful day here, and so it's time for what effectively should have been really SJJ's Real for Life #1. But instead it's going to be 28, and it's that you should weigh yourself. And here's the critical piece of information: you should weigh yourself every day, first thing on the morning. You should always track one weight that is done at the same time and in the same kind of state every day. So the weight that you want to track is the weight of your body first thing on the morning after you've used the bathroom, okay? And more importantly, you need to write it down, okay? Write it down. Keep a record. Because I bet you wonder how you managed to acquire that big belly, don't you? You didn't always have it, and somehow it just creeped up on you. Well, the #1 way to avoid getting heavier, unless of course you're weight training, okay, and then this really, we're talking about monitoring our body fat here. The #1 way to avoid it is to be aware of it. So very heavy women, for instance, will avoid, like the plague, ever seeing their weight on scales. Okay. Because they're terrified of seeing it. But what this does, this is like putting your head in the sand like an ostrich. And so it's much harder to continue getting more and more obese if every day you're aware of how much it's happening. At some point something will kick in. I'm going to do something about this, dude. I'm going to do something about it before it's too late. But if you're not weighing yourself, okay, if you're not stepping on those scales every day, and it's going to fluctuate day to day, like Mutiny says here, due to how much salt you've had in your food the day before, that's going to store much more water inside you. The difference between one urination and an empty bladder can be like over a kilogram of water. And even more so with the bowel movement. It's too early to get into the finer details of this. However, it's really important that you track your weight. So, of course, it's going to fluctuate depending on how much food and stuff and water. But wake up in the morning, do whatever business you're able to do in the bathroom, and then step on those scales and be aware of what you weigh. It's the fundamental first rule of not letting your weight get carried away with itself, okay? Run away with itself. And one day you wake up and you think, my God, my God, how did I get here? Okay. So doing this kind of guesswork like Frethwolf there is never reliable, because the first fat that builds up is internal, that you can't see. So it's what's known as visceral fat, the fat that lines your organs and everything first. And this is why diets can often be slow to go, because you're, in terms of what you look like, because you're getting rid of all that first. Your body's very clever that it will get rid of the internal fat stores first, okay? Tracking your weight is my #1 tip, just for life, really. It should have been #1, because it's something I do every day. And like I say, because it fluctuates, then if you want to be really smart about it, then although you're tracking it every day, really important, every day, dude. People can't get over this concept. Yeah, you just step on the scales every morning after emptying your bladder. But if you want to be really smart about it, then the weight that you really track is those 7-day recordings divided by 7 on one particular day. Pick a day in the week, say like Monday, and the previous 7. Divide it by 7 and see what it is. And keep a check on it. I guarantee you that if you're putting on a kilogram every week, it won't take long before, after seeing this happening as it's happening, for you to take stock and do something about it. Way before you would realise that you'd like put on 6 or 7 kilos by looking at yourself in the mirror. Okay. Or convincing yourself that your trousers still fit you. That stuff can go on for a long time before you realise just how much excess weight you've gained. So there we go. That's SJJ's Rule for Life number 28. Appreciate you, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Adios, everybody.